Right now, freeze warnings remain in effect for much of our viewing area. It's set to be the coldest weekend since April. Chris has your latest on the roller coaster forecast. And happy homecoming. It's a big weekend for Badgers past and present. We have a preview of the big game and everything happening before and after it.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning and thanks for starting your day with us here on News 3 Now. It's Saturday, October 12th. I'm Keely Arthur and with meteorologist Chris Reese. So good to have you back.
It has been a long time since we've gotten to be together at the desk. I've been on a Saturday. Yeah. No, that's true. I've been filling in lacrosse for Michelle Podell, who is on maternity leave.
Adorable baby.
I know.
How has it been up in lacrosse?
It's been nice. They're treating me well. So,
good.
You know, yeah, don't let them treat me too well. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, we're keeping
they're treating
you.
me well.
The weather there, similar to
Very
Madison?
similar. It's a little chillier at times, but also a little warmer in the afternoons, the Cross and a Valley. But they are under the same story as we are here when it comes to those freeze warnings. Now, I can tell you that the lakeshore counties have all come down from that freeze warning just because the lake is keeping temperatures just a little bit warmer there. But all the counties that you see shaded in the light blue, that includes us here in Madison and much of the viewing area, do remain under the freeze warning. Wisconsin Dells at the freezing point, Viroqua at 31. La Crosse and Madison are both at 35 right now, but once you head over towards the lakeshore, that's where you see those warmer temperatures. Kenosha 39, Milwaukee at 40, but there is indeed a wind chill out there. Wind chill of 27, just like that, Keely. Wind chill season is back. Wind chills of 22 as you work your way up towards the Dells. Expect these wind chills in the 20s to be sticking around throughout the day. Weather track shows a round of cloud cover leaving, but back towards the north and west, we're looking at more cloud cover and the chance for rain and snow showers to sweep right back on into the area. So as we go through the morning, temperatures will go from about 33 to 43. We'll keep some sunshine around, but the clouds will be on the increase as we head into this afternoon with rain and snow showers returning.
I mean, it's fall.
It is fall.
And pretty soon it's going to feel like winter. I mean, it really is. You feel that chill in the air right now.
This is a winter brand of air. This air mass came straight out of Canada. It's just modified a little bit, but we are, I guess, going to see more of these as we go through the coming months.
Stay bundled up, everybody.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Chris. Well, breaking into the Channel 3000 Alert Center overnight, major parts of Southern California are still in flames this morning. The Saddle Ridge fire started Thursday and since then has exploded to more than 7,500 acres and has jumped 2 freeways. The wind-driven wildfire has forced about 100,000 people to evacuate. And this morning, we have new information about what might have started it. Rachel Kim has the very latest.
As the devastating Saddle Ridge fire continues to burn in several communities, so does the question, what sparked it? Donna Porco lives on Saddle Ridge Road, and she noticed the fire when it first broke out around 9:30 Thursday night. She says she saw this electrical tower behind her home on fire by the time she went outside. But she tells us her neighbors believe they saw where it started.
He and his wife saw that the brush underneath that tower was on fire. And the wind was blowing so hard, it took off.
While there were planned power outages by PG&E and Southern California Edison across California in anticipation of the winds, Donna says the power in her neighborhood stayed on.
We didn't get any messages from DWP, and to be honest, I was selfishly relieved that we weren't going to lose power.
Donna says she and her neighbors are now left wondering whether their power should have been turned off and whether that would have prevented this widespread fire. Friday night, we saw investigators looking around the base of the tower. Authorities still don't know whether the fire started because of the electrical lines, but they addressed the issue at a news conference on Friday.
Our arson investigators have interviewed, we believe, that witness, but certainly someone else who said something similar. So we are following all leads, and we still don't have a determination.
Mayor Eric Garcetti was asked whether DWP considered turning off any power during the planned outages.
We don't know if those lines are Edison lines or DWP lines, but we will always assess that. But it was the determination department, no, that we did not need to have proactive mass outages.
I'd just like to have a little more Cautionary insight by these utility companies.
The United States is suspending a tariff hike on $250 billion worth of Chinese imports that was set to take effect Tuesday. China agreed to buy $40 billion to $50 billion in U.S. farm products as the world's two biggest economies reach a ceasefire in their 15-month trade war. The tariffs on $250 billion in Chinese imports was set to go up Tuesday from 25% to 30%. President Donald Trump is back in Washington this morning after hitting the campaign trail for the second night in a row, this time with a rally in Louisiana. While the rally was meant to unite Republicans against the state's Democratic governor, the impeachment inquiry remained the president's rallying cry.
All of our nation's gains are put at risk by a rage-filled Democrat Party that has gone completely insane.
Earlier Friday, a key witness in the inquiry defied a State Department order not to cooperate with House Democrats. Behind closed doors, Marie Yovanovitch, the former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, told lawmakers she was abruptly ordered to come back to Washington in April, quote, on the next plane. She says the Deputy Secretary of State told her she had done nothing wrong, but that the president had lost confidence in her and that there had been a concerted campaign against her. On Monday, lawmakers conducting the impeachment inquiry are expected to hear from the former Russia policy expert on National Security Council. More local news now. One of the two men convicted in a fatal shooting at a Madison gas station has been sentenced. 35-year-old Demetrius Reeves was sentenced to life in prison without parole Friday. The shooting happened at the 7-Eleven on West Beltline Highway in August of 2017, killing 32-year-old Kendrith Young and injuring another man. Reeves was caught on surveillance video at a nearby bar before the shooting. Then two masked men were seen on a camera shooting Young. Curtis Langless was also sentenced to life without parole in the same shooting. One of the men charged in a string of burglaries and car thefts from across southern Wisconsin was in court Friday. 24-year-old Cleister Moon is charged with multiple counts, including burglary and theft. He was given a $20,000 bond for each charge he is facing. 17-year-old Joshua Pitts was also arrested in connection to the thefts. A new youth program being launched in Sauk County is aiming to give young, low-risk first-time offenders a second chance. The Juvenile Youth Diversion Program is geared toward those younger than 14 years old who have committed crimes. Instead of putting a mark on their record, they can agree to sign up for a 4- to 6-week program at the Boys and Girls Club. The program's goal is to make a positive and lasting impact so they are not caught up in future issues.
Goal is to help these kids identify with a positive peer group, have opportunities to engage in positive behavior.
More specific details about the program can be found on our website, channel3000.com. A jury has been awarded a Beloit Walmart employee with millions of dollars in damages in a disability discrimination case. According to the lawsuit, an employee who has a developmental disability and is deaf and visually impaired worked as a cart pusher at the Beloit Walmart for 16 years before a new manager started at the store. The new store manager suspended the employee and forced him to resubmit medical paperwork in order to keep his reasonable accommodations. The paperwork was submitted, but the store cut off communication and effectively terminated him. The jury awarded the employee $200,000 in compensatory damages and an additional $5 million in punitive damages. Happening today, the 5th and final game of the Badgers' current homestand is today, and it's homecoming. On top of that, the Badgers are hosting Michigan State, who is 4-2 this season. Meanwhile, the Wisconsin defense is on a historic pace with 3 shutouts in its first 5 games. The Badgers are ranked at or near the top of almost every defensive statistic in the country, including first in total defense and scoring defense. Last year, the Badgers defense struggled at times, but this year, Jim Leonard's crew has been spot on.
The energy, you know, guys are flying around. They're feeding off of each other, and just a high play speed and physicality. I think last year there was times we just lacked that physicality. I think there was more guys at times trying to be right and not doing it the right way. And right now guys are just letting it loose and playing off of each other, and whether it's the linebackers or DBs, and we're making a lot of impact in making plays in the backfield that we didn't do last year.
Some other events happening today before the big game include the Badger Bash at Union South at noon, Badgerville at the Engineering Mall also happening at noon too. A multicultural homecoming tailgate and watch party at the Ply Center begins at 1:30. And finally at 2:30, the undefeated Badgers will take on Michigan State at Camp Randall. And looking ahead, the Packers are busy this weekend getting ready for Monday Night Football. That game at Lambeau Field is a big one. The Detroit Lions, like the Packers, have only one loss. They're 2-1 and they'll be well rested coming off of their bye week. So Matt LaFleur knows the importance of Monday's game.
It's absolutely critical, and we talk about the North games, and you know, the bottom line is whoever wins this next game is going to be the leader in the North, in the division. So we know we have a team that's a really good football team coming in our place playing on Monday night.
And we have a very sad story to tell you about that affects one of our own here at News 3 Now. Too often we report on fatal car crashes, and Thursday night we lost a member of our family. 24-year-old Levi Lynchide was killed in Grant County. He is the younger brother, the only sibling of our colleague, morning show anchor Leah Lynchide, a dear friend of mine. Now, they were very close. The Grant County Sheriff's Office says his car was discovered Friday morning at 7 o'clock after an overnight crash. Now, his car was left and hit a guardrail before going over a cement barrier. They don't know the cause of the accident yet. Leah's family has issued a statement saying Levi will be remembered for his unmatched kindness, his commitment to God, and his endless love for his family. He was universally beloved. As a fitness instructor, his job was to teach and inspire. His memory will continue to do that in all the lives he touched. Our general manager, Tom Keeler, saying the entire Morgan Murphy Media family is heartbroken, and we extend our most heartfelt condolences to Leah and her family. Leah, you and your family are front and center in all of our hearts and prayers, and we all will be with you every step of the way. Funeral arrangements are pending. We'll be right back.
Well, freeze warnings are certainly in effect, especially throughout the western part of the viewing area. Look for those freeze warnings going anywhere from about Milwaukee all the way back to parts of Minnesota, Iowa, and really, if I were to truly expand this out, those freeze warnings would go all the way down to the state of Texas. So there are a lot of folks getting in on some colder air, and here are those temperatures right now, just showing you where the chillier temperatures are. Wisconsin Dells at 32 right now. We head over towards Viroqua. That's where it's 31, and you saw Wisconsin Dells. They also just dropped down towards 31. Mineral Point and Platteville at freezing right now. Madison sitting 3 degrees above the freezing mark. We're at 35. Those winds out of the southwest at 11 are helping to keep things just a little bit warmer, but at the same time, the winds out of the southwest are creating a breeze. So there is a wind chill of 27 degrees right now. Elsewhere, wind chills are in the lower 20s. Wisconsin Dells, a wind chill of 22. Viroqua, a wind chill of 20 right now. Janesville, your wind chill is 28. So you will want that jacket as you begin to head out the door. Here's weather track. We had some cloud cover overnight. It's very faint on the map, but a lot of this cloud cover actually cleared out. So we are going to see some sunshine, at least early on throughout the day. But we fade this out through the upper Midwest. Here's more cloud cover, especially around the Twin Cities. All of this is rotating right back on in. So that means we're going to see that cloud cover return, especially as we head into the afternoon. We call this wraparound. The wraparound moisture on the backside of the low pressure is moving in along with that colder air that's being tapped into out of Canada. So expect the bigger chill to be tonight and into your Sunday. But this shows you that cloud cover moving on in as we head into the afternoon, along with the chance for some rain and snow showers. And that cloud cover, folks, will likely stick around as we head into tomorrow. Let's time it out. With the sunshine early, temperatures are actually going to warm up fairly nicely. 12:30, temperatures will likely be around 42, 43 degrees or so. We'll warm up towards 46 or 47, but then by 4 o'clock, here comes that cloud cover moving right back on in from the north and west, along with the chances for rain and snow. Given the temperatures, I think most of this is going to be rain, but when you get some of those heavier bands of rain that come through, you will tap into some of that cooler air, and that's where I think that chance for snow will be in. By the time we head into the overnight hours, this is just cloud cover and perhaps some lingering flurries as temperatures hang tough into the 30s, and then we'll see some additional 40s as we head into your Sunday, along with a minor chance of seeing some more of the cold showers around. Things begin to warm up a little bit as we head into early next week. We'll see a slight chance of showers on Tuesday, but temperatures will be in the 40s, 50s, and 60s with a pretty solid dry stretch throughout the week as well.
You said you saw snow last night.
I did see the first snow flurries last night. I was leaving church and there were some snow flurries in the parking lot. So my youth group kids and I had a good time with s'mores and Christmas music, because we might as well.
Might as well. If it's snowing,
Might as well.
put on the Christmas music.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Chris. Well, still ahead, one of the best-selling children's books of all time is heading to Netflix, and the streaming service is kicking off its Christmas early with its first ever animated original film. Plus, there are several new shows and movies to check out this weekend. Will shares his picks in 3 things to watch. Trending news is just ahead on News 3 Now This Morning, Saturday. Welcome back. Let's take a look at what is trending this morning. One of the best-selling children's books of all time is headed to Netflix, and even Sam I Am will like this all-star cast. Michael Douglas and Adam Devine are featured in the upcoming animated series Green Eggs and Ham, based on the 1960 beloved Dr. Seuss book. Keegan-Michael Key narrates the 13-episode series about an inventor named Guy Am I, who goes with his friend Sam I Am on a cross-country adventure. Diane Keaton and John Turturro also have roles. Green Eggs and Ham starts streaming on November 8th. Also soon to debut on Netflix, the streaming service's first original animated film. Just in time for Christmas, the new movie called Claus features J.K. Simmons as an isolated carpenter living in a cabin above the Arctic Circle with the toys he's made. Jason Schwartzman is also part of the film, playing Jasper, a student who promises to deliver Claus's toys to children in, quote, the unhappiest place on Earth, after he gets Claus to agree to donate them. Claus starts streaming on Netflix on November 15th. And for adults, Steph Daniels is getting ready to play FBI Director James Comey in a 4-hour miniseries based on Comey's best-selling book, quote, A Higher Loyalty. The book details Comey's career at the FBI and his dealings with President Trump and different presidential administrations. Irish actor Brendan Gleeson will play President Trump. Production starts in November at CBS Television Studios. No word yet on when it will air. You do not have to wonder when these next films will be ready for you to watch. On this chilly weekend, our Will Loper shares his 3 things to watch.
Woody? Why am I alive? You are a toy. You belong to Bonnie.
New on home video this week is Toy Story 4.
I know, this is a little strange, but we all have to make sure nothing happens to Forky.
Something happened to him.
Woody, Buzz Lightyear, and the rest of the gang must work to rescue Forky, a spork who's been brought to life.
We have to find him, Mom.
Bonnie needs Forky.
Aw, Sheriff Woody, always coming to the rescue.
Toy Story 4 is available to rent or buy everywhere now.
Is that how we look on the inside? There's so much fluff.
Newly streaming on Netflix this week is El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie.
I saw my face in the mirror, Lord, I know I've changed.
Picking up right after the Breaking Bad television series ended, Aaron Paul returns as Jesse Pinkman, who's on the run from law enforcement.
And I found grace in the bright water, bathe my soul. Tell my heart I told you so.
El Camino is available to stream on Netflix now.
You ready?
Yeah.
I'm a Netto, it's Alvin, and he's driving his lawnmower.
He'll never make it past the grotto.
Finally, this week marks the 20-year anniversary of 1999's The Straight Story.
Well, you know, Alvin, there's a lot of hills bigger than Claremont's between here and Zion. Even if you get that mower running again, there's no guarantee it won't break down.
Well, you're a kind man talking to a stubborn man.
The film is based on the true story of Alvin Straight, a man who gets on his lawnmower to travel 240 miles from Iowa to Wisconsin in order to make amends with his dying brother.
My brother and I said some unforgivable things the last time we met, but I'm trying to put that behind me. And this trip is a hard swallow of my pride. I just hope I'm not too late.
The Straight Story is available to rent or buy everywhere now.
Well, the worst part of being old is remembering when you was young.
Happy watching. Those are the 3 things you need to watch, and this is Will Loper for News 3 Now this morning.
From movies to music, it's almost time to reserve your spot at the Hotel California. Tickets go on sale this week for the upcoming Eagles 2020 tour. This time they're touring with a twist. The band will perform its Grammy award-winning album Hotel California in its entirety. The tour kicks off in Atlanta February 7th. Unfortunately, the band isn't stopping in Wisconsin this time around. Well, there's much more ahead on News 3 Now. Next, we're running through the morning's top stories, plus a return to the Rotunda. A popular children's series is now showing at the Overture. We are previewing the performers you'll see during this month's Kids in the Rotunda. We'll be right back.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning. It's October 12th. I'm Keely Arthur. We'll get a check on your first alert forecast with Chris in just a second. But first, here are the 3 things to know as you start your day. President Donald Trump is back in Washington this morning after hitting the campaign trail for the 2nd night in a row, this time with a rally in Louisiana. Well, the rally was meant to unite Republicans against the state's Democratic governor. The impeachment inquiry remained the president's rallying cry. Earlier Friday, a key witness in the inquiry defied a State Department order not to cooperate with House Democrats. Behind closed doors, Marie Yovanovitch, the former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, told lawmakers she was abruptly ordered to come back to Washington in April. The ongoing impeachment investigation continues on Monday, when lawmakers are expected to hear from the former Russia policy expert on national security. Major parts of Southern California are still in flames this morning. The Saddle Ridge fire started Thursday and since then has expanded to more than 7,500 acres and has jumped to freeways on top of that. Now, the wind-driven wildfire has forced about 100,000 people to evacuate. New this morning, investigators are working to piece together what started it. One neighborhood believes a recent power outage that didn't affect their homes could have played a role. The fifth and final game of the Badgers' current homestand is today, and it's homecoming on top of that. The Badgers are hosting Michigan State, who is 4-2 this season. Meanwhile, Wisconsin defense is in a historic pace with 3 shutouts in its first 5 games. The Badgers are ranked at or near the top of almost every single defensive statistic in the country, including first in total defense and scoring defense. Kickoff is at 2:30. And Chris Reese telling us now if it's going to be a pleasant day to watch the Badgers outside.
I mean, it might be. It depends on what your definition of football weather is. It could be a little chilly out there. That's one thing that is for sure. We do have some freeze warnings that include pretty much all of the viewing area. That goes all the way back towards parts of Minnesota and Iowa. Towards the east, a lot of those lakeshore counties have been dropped from the freeze warning just because the lakeshores kept temperatures just a bit warmer there. Milwaukee still at 40 right now, 39 in Kenosha, Sheboygan and Manitowoc, both at 38. We look back towards the west, that's where temperatures are a bit cooler. The Dells and Viroqua at 31. Mineral Point and Platteville both at the freezing mark. Decorah, Iowa at 30 right now. Madison above freezing at 35. You factor in the wind and it feels quite a bit cooler. 27 the wind chill in Madison. Viroqua's wind chill at 20 degrees right now. Now, we are seeing some clearing. I do think that will allow for some sunshine at least earlier on this morning as this blanket of cloud cover moves on towards the north and east. But back towards the northwest, another round of cloud cover will be moving in. Expect that to arrive probably around 3 to 4 o'clock. And you see the snow showers up there. Those will be diving southward as some rain and snow showers this afternoon as well. So soak up the sun while you can this morning. Temperatures going from 33 to 43. Will be windy and chilly, so wear the jacket as you head towards the Badger game by the afternoon. 46 degrees. Clouds will be on the increase. We'll see some of those rain and snow showers as we move into tonight. Keely?
All right, Chris, thank you so much. Well, now to our favorite story of the week. A new member is joining Lizzo's Cause I Love You Too tour group after her stop in Madison Thursday night. Underdog Pet Rescue of Wisconsin brought puppies to the Sylvie where Lizzo performed Thursday for a puppy party. The entire group fell in love with one of the puppies, but one crew member adopted her. The puppy, now named Pocahontas, will join the group for the remainder of the tour. The founder of Underdog Pet Rescue says she appreciates Lizzo using her celebrity platform to promote shelters and rescues.
But especially when people like Lizzo go out of their way to tag us on their Instagram page, so many more people are going to learn about us. And whether it means an extra donation around the holidays or whether it means somebody knows about us so that they can adopt their next pet through us.
My sister actually just adopted a dog from Underdog Pet Rescue. Very cute puppies over there. And there is also an opportunity to volunteer and foster and adopt one of your own. Well, more local news now. People living on Madison's west side have a new place to shop for their groceries this weekend. Festival Foods is now officially open in Verona. You'll find it next to Blaine's Farm and Fleet on Hometown Circle. If you're looking for a family-friendly activity this weekend, head downtown. The Overture's annual Kids in the Rotunda series is back, and our Christina Laurie joins us this morning with a preview of what you'll see this month.
The Overture's popular Kids in the Rotunda series is back, and it provides great entertainment this time of year, especially
indoors, which is something we need here in Wisconsin. Here to talk about that, Mary Rose from the Overture. So what is up on this list of things to see at the Overture this October?
Thanks so much for having me here, Christina. So we're celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month this weekend with Angela Puerta. She's going to be sharing some children's songs in Spanish and English, as well as teaching some Colombian dances. And then between performances, the audience can stop by and make their own maraca with artist Sahira Rosillo. And we're inviting the audience to come back from 2 to 7 p.m. for the Latino Art Fair. The following weekend, on October 19th, we are going to be learning about physics with Mike Randall of the Physics Experience, and that performance is part of the Wisconsin Science Festival, which runs October 17th through 20th. And then the following Wednesday, on October 23rd, we're having special Halloween shows with Mad Science as part of Downtown Madison Family Halloween. Those performances are at 3, 4, and 5 p.m. that day, and the audience can stop by the lobby from 3 to 6 to get candy and take photos in costume in our green screen photo booth.
How do you keep all these programs straight? You offer so many different things.
Yep, it's a lot. And our last performance of October is the 26th with the Jerry Ensemble, our high school musical theater students. And that day we're going to have a hip hop puppet show, which I'm really excited about because that's brand new. So we do so many different things. It's very hard to keep track.
And what's great about Kids in the Rotunda is that you bring back some favorites. This program has been happening for more than 40 years now. So some of the original kids that were in the Rotunda now have kids of their own. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, it's a really amazing experience because we get to offer this really nurturing environment that's very kid-centered, where families can come and learn about the arts together. So some of these parents are remembering songs from their youth and then they're teaching them to their kids, and it's a beautiful experience that I get to share in.
And then really quickly, any tips and tricks for families who want to go to these programs? They're very popular and they fill up pretty quickly.
Absolutely. So the space opens 30 minutes before every show. The shows are at 9:30 a.m., 11 a.m., and 1 p.m. So we recommend that people get there as early as possible to get a good seat. And then follow us on Facebook at Overture's Kids in the Rotunda for seating updates, information if we have any sort of delays, as well as how to have a great experience at Overture.
And we have a full list of all this programming up on our website as well, so folks at home can check that out. And thank you so much for talking to us this morning, Mary.
Thank you so much for having me, Christina.
Thank you. We'll send it back to you, Keely.
Thanks, Christina. Kids in the Rotunda runs every Saturday through April. It's a jam-packed homecoming weekend here in Madison, and besides the big game, there is a lot going on, from a pair of family-friendly indoor shows to a historic documentary and several Badger-themed parties. Your Weekend 608 is next on News 3 Now this morning. All right, Chris, it's the weekend in the 608, and it's the coldest weekend, boo, since April.
Oh, wow. Okay, anyways, that being said, it's best to probably find some indoor activities if you can.
All right, well, first up, this weekend you'll have a chance to catch a special 40th anniversary showing of the documentary War at Home. The documentary features the student protests against the Vietnam War in Madison between 1963 to 1970. The documentary will show Sunday evening at the Orpheum Theater, followed by a panel discussion about the anti-war movement.
Well, you can take a trip to a Pineapple Under the Sea and see the SpongeBob musical at the Overture Center. It's based on the long-running animated show on Nickelodeon. The SpongeBob musical is a live-action show that is visually stunning, hilarious, and heartwarming. There are several showings both today and tomorrow.
Over in the Playhouse, you'll find Children's Theater of Madison presenting Roald Dahl's Matilda, the musical based on the 1988 book Matilda. The story is about the friendship between an imaginative and telekinetic 5-year-old girl and her teacher. The musical includes some material appropriate for older children, but its overall message is about the importance of friendship and learning, and it's great for everybody. Matilda, the musical, runs through the weekend and the following 2 weekends as well.
And don't forget to watch the Badgers take on Michigan State. If you don't have a ticket to the game but still want to watch it with some fellow fans, you can watch it at the Pyle Center, Union South, or the Memorial Union. As usual, the Game Day Badger Bash starts at 2.5 hours before the game, this time at noon. That's at Union South. And then Badgerville is hosted at the Engineering Mall. Pop by for a hot dog and to toss around a football with some alumni and students.
Very fun things this weekend.
Absolutely. That's all. Oh. As always,
you can go ahead, Chris. I won't cut you off.
You can get this month's Madison magazine for all of the best in the Madison area.
Well said. You are taking a live look over the Capitol right now, and Chris will have your full forecast next on News 3 Now this morning, Saturday.
But first, let's take a look at who's 3 today. Happy birthday to Fulton and all of those turning 3 in the area. Welcome to the weekend, and perhaps the chilliest weekend we've seen in 6 months around here. It is the likely first freeze for a lot of folks as the growing season potentially comes to an end. Freeze warnings are in play for pretty much all of the viewing area. Those lakeshore counties, those have been dropped from the freeze warning, but they go all the way back towards the south and west as well. Temperature-wise, we are mainly into the 30s. The Dells at 31 right now, Camp Douglas 1 degree above freezing, Watoma at 36, Watertown at 34. Here in Madison, we're sitting at 35 right now. The winds are coming out of the south and west at 11 miles per hour. Saying a southwest wind instead of a northwest wind works in our favor, but it's still very breezy out there. So there's wind chill. That's 27 for us, 21 for the Dells. Soroka, the wind chill has dropped down towards 18 now. Whew. That's chilly, and more folks are going to see wind chills like that as we go throughout the day. The cloud cover has cleared for now, but we're going to be watching more cloud cover that moves on in from the north and west. Here's a live look at that right now on Weather Track. You see these clouds moving into the Twin Cities, all kind of diving south and eastward. With that will also come a chance for some snow showers and rain showers later on this afternoon. This is what we call wraparound moisture. The area of low pressure has moved towards the north, but that counterclockwise flow is wrapping that moisture back around the backside of the low. It's also ushering in that cold air, and there's plenty of cold air to work with for the snow showers that are flying, especially across parts of Minnesota. But look how the cloud cover moves in this afternoon. I think we'll be just warm enough that we'll mainly see rain, perhaps with some embedded snowflakes. Then you should work your way towards the north woods. That's where things are more likely to be snow for us. But the cloud cover sticks around the upper Midwest as we go through perhaps the next couple of days. So enjoy that sunshine that's out there now. Temperatures warm up quickly under that sunshine. By lunchtime, temperatures will likely be in the low, if not mid 40s for some folks. But by 4 o'clock, that cloud cover starts to move in from the north and west, as does the chance for some showers. And again, I think it comes down just hard enough at times that a few snowflakes begin to mix in. But most of this should be rain. Temperatures will be above freezing, so I'm not concerned about any accumulation if you get some snowflakes. Overnight tonight, the clouds stick around. We may see some passing flurries, but as temperatures fall back into the middle and low 30s, we'll see more cloud cover as we move into your Sunday, along with temperatures in the 40s and maybe an isolated shower or two. But we'll see drier weather headed into Monday. I think that's our best chance of some sunshine. We'll see more clouds, temperatures near 50 on Tuesday, and then we will stay kind of around 50 degrees until Friday, where we spike back up into the 60s.
Okay. Thanks for that, Chris.
My pleasure, Keely.
Word of advice to everybody, I think now it's like winter coat weather
I mean,
almost.
you know, for this weekend anyway,
Yes.
as we go into the week ahead, I'm sure some folks will break out the shorts again.
That's
we'll
true, we are in
if the
Wisconsin.
polar vortex came back, someone's wearing shorts. But it is Wisconsin after all.
Thank you, Chris.
My pleasure.
Well, we've been asking you to share your morning with us. And speaking of the snow, look at this photo from Paula Richards. She posted it and sent it to us. And you can do the same. What does your morning look like? You can take a picture and post it on the Channel 3000 Facebook page or on Twitter using the hashtag MyNews3Morning. We'll share our favorites right here. Stick with News 3 all day long, and then tomorrow morning, we're talking about the link between dental and physical health, why it's especially important for expectant mothers. But first, flying without fear. It's harder than it seems for many families with kiddos with autism. The special way airlines are working to ease any concerns. That's next on News 3 Now This Morning, Saturday. Well, finally this morning, getting ready for takeoff. 1 in 59 8-year-olds is on the autism spectrum here in America, which can make air travel especially challenging.
Now airlines are trying to help take away families' fear. Chris Van Cleve has more.
Are you excited?
6-year-old Nathan Diamond will be walking on an airplane for the first time since he was a baby. He has autism, so the noise and activity of an airport can be overwhelming.
You're going to hand her your boarding pass. Give it to her.
His parents, Sonia and Jonathan, are taking advantage of a special Delta Airlines program to get kids with autism ready to fly.
How's it gone so far?
I'll be honest. It was a little nerve-wracking, I think, for us, but for him, he was taking the challenge on, like, what's going on?
Nathan gets to experience check-in, security, boarding, and what it's like to be on a plane.
This is the hardest part for him. Sitting down, these narrow ways, and see, that's the hardest part for him.
When you've seen a child have a meltdown that's on the spectrum, it's scary.
Captain Eric Reese leads the tours. His son has autism.
What's it like for you seeing the reactions from the kids, particularly when their eyes light up?
It's just amazing, and that it's doing good, and it's making families feel empowered and confident and comfortable. And I want them to have the same experiences with their children that I've had with mine.
Delta offers these programs at its Atlanta and Minneapolis hubs. Airlines including Alaska, American, and JetBlue have similar programs around the country.
Have a seat in the captain's seat.
From the looks of Nathan in the cockpit,
Put your hands just like
he's
this.
about ready for takeoff. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Atlanta.
I know you love that because you had hopes and dreams of being an airline pilot.
It's something I've considered. Every time I'm in my car, I don't know, I always have to do like the pilot thing. Or I'm like, folks, we're coming in.
But we love you as a meteorologist.
Yes, that is a lot more fun, at least I think anyway. And we're watching the weather as we head through the weekend. We'll see some rain and snow chances moving in late, but before that gets here, we're going to see some sunshine. So look for those temperatures into the mid-40s.
All right, we'll soak in the sunshine. Chris and I will be back at 8 a.m. Thanks for watching.